Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt Sie? Dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen!
Lord Montague, after talking with Francesculus, tells Benvolio, one of Romeo's best friends, if Romeo was involved with the fight in any way. But Romeo really is heartbroken because Rosalind doesn't. Meanwhile, the Capulet,
Paris calls to Lord Capulet about marrying Juliet. But she's only 13, so.
Hence they deny marrying Juliet, but since Lord Capulet is gonna launch a party, he tells Paris if he can win Juliet's heart at the party, they might get married in the future. But Mercutio and Benvolio, two of Romeo's best friends, decide to invite Romeo to the party so he can find someone to replace Rosalind. They're gonna wear masks because they're Montagues. In the process of going to the party, Romeo reads the skies and says that he probably might die, basically. During the party, Romeo falls in love with the first person he sees across the party, I don't know how many feet, with Juliet. They both fall in love with each other, but they both recognize that he's a...
The next, Romeo tells the friar about him marrying Juliet, but the friar denies at first. But when he knows that she's a Capulet, he thinks that a marriage between the two families would end the feud and accepts to marry them together.
Tybalt challenges Romeo to a duel, but Romeo's busy telling the nurse about the secret marriage that she is gonna have with Juliet. And after they arrange the marriage, and by secret, they get married and live forever happy and after. But wait, I remember now, this is Shakespeare. Tybalt wants to fight Romeo, but Romeo doesn't want to fight him, so instead Mercutio jumps in and starts fighting with Tybalt, but he dies. When Romeo sees this, he starts fighting with Tybalt and in the end kills him. Romeo, because he slew Tybalt, because he slew Mercutio. Prince Escalus decides to banish Romeo from Verona, but things go from bad to worse because Lord Capulet decides to arrange a marriage between Paris and Juliet, and Romeo wants to kill himself, like all do. But the friar tells him to lay low and manage until he comes up with a brilliant plan. The same evening, Juliet goes to the friar's cell to ask for a solution about the problem she has with Paris. So the friar gives her a potion that's gonna make her sleep for 2 hours. Tells Juliet that Romeo is gonna come for her so they can just get to Mantua, and then Juliet decides to do it and checks off that everything the friar said. She drinks it and sleeps. But Romeo never hears about the plan because of an outbreak of the plague that happened in the city that couldn't get him to know. But Balthasar, one of Romeo's servants, tells him about Juliet. Romeo, depressed about seeing that her wife is dead, buys poison and then goes to the tomb. But Paris is there, and Romeo and Paris have a little fight, and then obviously Paris dies. So Romeo goes inside the tomb of Juliet, and then mourns about her death, drinks the potion, and dies. Well, Juliet wakes up after 15 minutes after Romeo killed himself, sees him, and then dies also. So the friar has to be left to be explained what happened to both of their children to both of their houses. So Lord Aeschylus tells them that if they keep on fighting with this, both of their children just die because of their feud. So the feud ended in the end, and everybody, well, pretty much